In this episode of the Straight Up R&D
I think the thing that's been on my
Podcast.
mind too is like, people I know have been dropping, and bro, and it be some of the most random ways, and you didn't even know something was wrong with the person. Like somebody in our family, girl not even 40, dropped dead. Nobody even knows why. Nobody knows why. So it's like when you think about shit like that, it's like, damn, bro, like obviously you could do the right things, like trying to diet and exercise properly. But sometimes
Yo, what's good, everybody?
it's good, y'all.
Welcome to another episode of the Straight Up and R&D Podcast, episode number 26.
Damn.
26. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, 26.
I am your co-host, Rich.
I'm D.
And before we get into the bullshit, we got to go through the regular slingo. All right? We're gonna be giving it to you real, raw, uncut, straight up. Opinions based on motherfucking facts.
Facts.
All day. But the number one rule on the show, if you do not know by 26 episodes in, is that we do not give a fuck about your motherfucking feelings. I'm sorry, we just don't.
We don't, but we appreciate the support though, y'all.
Subscribe. All right. So we're gonna jump into episode 26, and we're gonna get this shit popping right now. So the first question is, and this is a deep one. It's a deep one. It's, what are you most afraid of feeling? So D, I'm gonna let you go first on this one. What are you most afraid of feeling?
This is a deep ass question.
Nah, like you're gonna need some time to think about this one. Like it's pretty fucking deep.
There are a lot of things I'm afraid of feeling. I feel like I could go in so many different ways, right? But how about I start like this? What the things that I've been most afraid of recently?
Okay.
And I don't know if you could count this as a feeling or not, but recently what I've been most afraid of is not being there in the future. Like, I can't explain to you, like, this is really getting deep in my head. Sometimes there's a part of me that's like, yo, will I be here 10 years from now? But there's a part of me that's like, I feel like, I will. I'm being optimistic, but you just don't know. Like, anything in life could happen. Especially, like, as you start getting older, more people depending on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm afraid that I will let those people down because, death will just come knocking at my door. And it's like, I don't know, like, how to prevent that feeling. Maybe it's just like the added pressure of, like, as you're getting older. And that's what I think it is the added pressure of, like, have a wife, you have a kid, you have, people, the other people depend on you, like, got family back at home in another country. They're dependent for me to do good because, when they look at you, you're in America, like, oh, you're in a land of opportunity, you got so much you can do. Like, meanwhile, they're struggling back at home to get the standards, just to get standard living.
Yeah, to make ends meet.
So it's like I'm feeling all of that added pressure. And then I'm like, will I be here to see the fruits of my labor in the future? So that's the thing that's been on my mind, a lot recently. It's like, what can I do to prevent that? And I don't even think there's anything you could do. And I think another thing that's been on my mind too is like, people I know have been dropping. And bro, and it be some of the most random ways, and you didn't even know something was wrong with the person. Like somebody in our family, girl not even 40, dropped dead. Nobody even knows why. Nobody knows why. So it's like when you think about shit like that, it's like, damn, bro, like obviously you could do the right things, like trying to diet and exercise properly. But sometimes, again, you can't prevent freak accidents or shit like that.
That's true.
So it's like thing that I've been most scared of recently, and I don't know if you can even count it as a feeling, but it's just been like, man, I gotta make sure I'm here as much as I can. You know, I even saw a story of a father. He passed away when his baby was 1 year old. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that baby won't even get to know, that baby, she won't even get to know her father, everything that the father did to make sure that she's taken care of, and maybe all the sacrifices he did in that year and before she was born to make sure the baby has a great life. Mm-hmm. The wife knows because she married him, and they been married for a number of years before the baby came. But it's like, damn, you didn't get to see her grow up, do these, do all the things, experience that father-daughter dance, see her get married. You won't ever get to see that, and she won't ever get to experience the love of a father. So it's like, damn, what can we do, or what can I do to make sure my family gets to enjoy me being here? I get to see them prosper. And, that's the shit that's just been on my mind, man, because I just feel like, when you're young, you're not really thinking about that shit so much. Cause it's
no, you're really not.
Yeah, like when I was in college, single, not really, don't know what the fuck I'm about to do. I'm just out here partying, living. I don't have as much pressure, but, as you get older and responsibilities rack up, it's like, damn, what if I'm just not here next year or not here a couple years from now? And it's like, I'm not trying to be a pessimist. It's just that I just want to be realistic. I just want to be around. So that's the thing that's been on my mind and trying to do things to help me with that. But, yeah, man. I got some other shit too, but I'll let you go.
No, that you bring up some good points. So for me, I would say, what am I most afraid of feeling? That's like this question is so deep.
It's so deep.
But I would say it's like, not being enough for my family. And I'm not talking about like if I were to have kids and that type of family. I'm talking about my parents. Like not being enough for them.
Okay.
So it's like when you were talking, what I was thinking about also is like, what if you were that pawn at this moment in time that it's like, okay, you may not have accomplished a lot, but you were the stepping stone for the next generation. You know what I mean? Like, you may feel like, oh, I didn't do enough, but the next generation could be like, damn, I'm lucky D did X, Y, and Z. Because now it put us in this predicament, in this situation. You know what I mean? Like, the shit that you did when you were alive didn't go in vain. So my thing is like, I just want to make sure that regardless of, my personal goals, my personal achievements, that's my thing. Could I achieve them all in this lifetime? Maybe, maybe not. But if I don't, I at least want to say, okay, well, the next generation that come after me, after I'm gone, they're set.
It's like the
they
family
have
passing a torch to you.
exactly. They have a foundation to build up on and make it better than what I have done. Take it further than where I have taken it.
Nah, that's
great.
That's
So my fear is that I'm not putting my family or setting up the next generation in a good way for them to be successful.
As you was talking, I was thinking, like, there are some people in my family which I don't know the complete story. And I always would, I guess, judge them in a way. Be like, yo, you're this age, but didn't accomplish this. Why? And they're old Caribbean people, so there's certain questions you just don't ask because it's going to come off as disrespectful.
Mm.
But I would be like, damn, how are you struggling at this age? Or what didn't you do in your life to make sure you're a bit more successful? Or, just like anything. But you're right in a sense. I think some people's life or some people's mission in their life is just like, it's not all for the glitz and glamour. It's really just to be there as a stepping stone to make sure the family lineage, be good. To make sure the people in the future in their family be good. Because, I even think from my mother's standpoint, she did a lot. She sacrificed a lot just so I could be where I'm at now. Mm-hmm. Then I could sacrifice a lot and make use of the opportunity she gave me so I can make sure my future family have a lot now. So I always even think, like, people always want to compare themselves to millionaires and billionaires, but it's like what their family went through, like we talk about generational wealth. Mm-hmm. They did so much to create that opportunity for them to become a billionaire that you can't really compare yourself to this person. Like Elon Musk, I don't really know his family history, but I'm pretty sure he came from a rich family. So they passed the torch to him like, hey, this is what we were able to get. This is what we were able to accomplish. Now take this wealth and do something with it. And he's doing a hell of a lot. And then he's going to eventually pass it on to his kids like, hey, this is what I did.
Yeah, said.
Yeah. But it's not. But he's going to have these like, hey, don't settle. I didn't settle with my wealth. I built upon it. Now you can continue to build. So it's always, so that's, I was thinking when you was talking, I was like, damn, maybe I should have, been so insensitive to how their lives played out. Because maybe they just have I know they did. They had like a tougher upbringing than me. Mm-hmm. So it's like, this is all they could have done for themselves. But because of what they went through and the sacrifices they made, it gave their children the opportunity to become greater. So it's actually kind of crazy. So, yeah, I guess in life, in case you feel like you're not doing enough, I mean, there's some instances where you probably won't be doing enough. Like,
Nah, but I think it's like, if you feel like you're not doing it enough, it's like, okay, look back and see what you accomplished. What have you done? And when you look back at what you've done, is you ask yourself the question, okay, is this beneficial for the next generation, or is this only beneficial for myself?
Right.
But
Right. Have you ever heard, I'm not sure, I heard this from somewhere. This is anecdotal, so anybody can fact check me, but I feel like Jackie Chan, right, said he wasn't going to pass his wealth on to his children.
Nah, it was true. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, because he's afraid that they're going to fuck it up. Mm-hmm. Like they're going to mess up everything he built and everything he worked hard for. And it's the same that you was talking about. Like, hey, we made all these sacrifices while we had a baton. Now we have to pass it on to you so you can build on what we worked hard for. Mm-hmm. But he's afraid that you're just going to fuck it up and then everything just ends with you. So now you're going to put our family back generations start all over because you fucked up the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy like how I guess the operational family line works. That, yeah, like when we think of the grand scheme of things, that's why people always say, like, be thankful for people who paved the road for you, like the OGs.
Yeah, to pay homage.
Pay homage.
To them dudes, to the OGs. But my thing is this. It's what was his name? Robert Greene?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was watching an interview with him, and he was saying that it's like, you know, just because somebody's older than you doesn't mean you can't teach them something.
Correct.
You know, so it's like, yeah, you want to listen to your elders, but at the same time, you might be experiencing something that they don't know about. They've never been through.
Of course.
You know, and that thing that you're experiencing might be one of those things that they wish they did when they were younger. It could be one of those things that, hey, this could have been that thing that helped my family or the next generation after me.
No, that's so true.
You know, so.
That's so true. You never can't be afraid to stop learning. And I think that's one of the toughest things in life. Because as you get older, you always want to play like that teacher role to people who are like younger than you. Mm-hmm. So like if they're giving you advice, some adults get offended.
Yeah, they're like, oh, what the fuck do you know?
Right.
You know?
And it just could be just like, listen, you honestly just don't fucking know. And I think even in the older people, I think from this standpoint too, like for instance, we're in a more like technological age. Mm-hmm. We're teaching some of the older people how to use technology because they didn't grow up with that. They didn't grow up with all that. So they are learning from us basically how to survive in this generation. Like, because everything.
And that's okay to learn from us.
That's okay.
You know?
But that's what I'm saying. You can't have the mindset of like, you know, you can't take advice from people who are younger than you because you don't know what type of wisdom or knowledge they have that could benefit you even in your older age. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, interesting you said that too. Because I feel like that is a fall out of, you know, and we got people who are really old, just for people who are just, you know, adults in general, and the children teach them shit. Because, like, listen, bro, I always say this too, like, I want to put my kids in a position, them have that, you know, go through the education or to the schools I didn't go to, and they come home and teach me shit. I'm like, oh, shit, you learned that? Mm-hmm. Shit, I ain't learned that till I was 30. Like, or I don't even know what the fuck that is. Teach me. So it's like, you're supposed to, in a way, I look at it, the generation that's coming up, in a way, supposed to know a little bit more than you because in an ideal situation, you're supposed to put them in a better situation than when you came up in. Mm-hmm. So if you have kids, you might say like, man, I want them to have a great education. So I might put them in the top schools that I wasn't fortunate enough to go in. And they come home, oh yeah, I learned how to, I don't know, do a checkbook at first grade or some shit. Like, I don't fucking know, like whatever it is. Like, oh, Charlamagne the God on Breakfast Club, he said this a while ago when his daughter was about 12. They was learning about stocks and she came
12. Yeah,
she came home and was like, let me look at your stock portfolio and teach you some shit. I'm like, fuck, nigga, like, oh shit. I was like, fuck.
That's $1 right there.
That's $1. So I was like, damn, like, you see, like, when you do good and able to, like, put your kids in a situation you want to put, you know, that you weren't able to put yourself in. She's coming home and teach you about stocks, and you probably didn't learn that until you got famous, so like 40 or something like that. So yeah.
Nah, I hear you on that part. But it's like at the end of the day, you gotta live a life where you gotta be open to learning and listening to all different types of experiences because you're not gonna be able to live it all.
Yeah.
You know, and to not to deviate too much from the question, but to go back to it is, you know, what are you most afraid of feeling? Is just not being enough. That's like now that you know you talked, it's really in my mind. It's just like, okay, I'm afraid of feeling not being enough. Like I was here for X amount of years, or whatever year that I eventually passed away at. It's like, did I do enough for the family? Because I go back, you know, and you look at some, you know, even in the islands or the you know the Hispanic islands or countries, you see that family is a big thing.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, 5 of them may be living in one house, but you know, somebody's taking that responsibility to work hard to get them out of that situation. You know, and maybe, well, all 5 of them end up buying a house and then 3 of them die. Well, at least the other 2 and the mother have a place to stay.
Right.
At least the kids of those brothers have a place to stay if shit hits the fan. You know, and I think nowadays people in our generation don't think about that. They think about just the now.
Yeah. Not about the future.
And, you know, it's gonna come back to bite them. It's gonna come back to bite them in the end. You know?
Right, right. You know, that's another thing too. Like I want to expand a little bit on not feeling like I did enough or not feeling like I am enough. Because, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this, I don't want to say this is a man thing, but I say like one of the problems as one of the challenges like a man, like us men face is like, is always, you know, the pressure of like, you know, like, hey, you gotta, they always say protect and provide. And what comes with that? Like, doing well, making sure you do enough. Are you enough? Are you doing the things that you're supposed to do?
Yeah, because you definitely can't give the bare minimum because that's gonna be a problem.
You can't give the bare minimum. But sometimes it's like you feel like if you're having a bad day, bad week, bad month, bad year, those things just happen in life. That's his life. But sometimes it's just like you like it's your fault you're going through some of this shit. Is it your fault that you're not able to do the things you want to do? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that's exhausting to being a man is like the constant competition that you gotta deal with on a day-to-day basis. Like, for instance, me, I don't really like I just want to compete with myself. It's like, all right, was I better than yesterday? Mm-hmm. Was I better than last year? But the world puts you, excuse me, Jesus. But the world puts men on this pedestal and like, in order to be a real man, you got to do X, Y, and Z. If he ain't doing X, Y, and Z, he ain't a real man. So now it's like, do I have to keep chasing these societal norms of what a man should be? And then, am I not enough? Or am I not enough of a man if I don't chase these societal norms? But, you know, I think that's just, and then, you know, there are other people in competition, other men you're in competition with who might be doing well in some categories you're not doing well in. The next thing you know, you might just feel like you're not a real man or you're just not doing enough.
So you're saying that your manhood is kind of like stripped away?
Some people could feel like that because let's just say, like, I don't know, what's a standard that they say men should have?
A job.
Oh, yeah, say a job. Now, if a man don't got a job, right? He might not have a job in a moment because he's looking like he could be like actively, and that's the problem I do have.
I mean, because that idea is a double-edged sword because you can have a man that's applying, but how is he applying? Like, is he really applying himself, or is he just trying to just learn the job and make whatever?
Right. But the thing, what I'm trying to get is like, you could be at one phase in your life and trying hard, And it's just like, all right, I didn't get there. But even if you're trying hard to like get this job or do whatever, they would still say, you're not a real man because you don't have a job. It's like, all right, I don't have it, but I'm trying. You don't know what he been through.
You don't know his story.
So it's like, God damn, is there any empathy, sympathy for niggas? Oh, fuck.
That's $2.
Is there any empathy or sympathy for people? I don't even know how you even started talking about this. But yeah, so I always just try to, make sure. I always try to just make sure I'm doing well. And I think until I got older, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to listen to society to tell me who I should be, who I shouldn't be. I'm going to look myself in the mirror and say, look, this is the type of man I want to be. These are the values I stand by. And I'm going to find a woman who's going to appreciate who I am. And then once you do that, 10 toes down on that, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Cheers. But yeah, don't let society try to get you down, and don't try to get in your head too much if you feel like what you can and can't accomplish. But yeah, man, so bro, what else are you afraid of feeling?
Oh man. I would say, I mean, honestly, that's really my biggest thing. Mm-hmm. All the other emotions are just kind of that's what comes with life. Yeah. But, to know that if I die and the next generation after me doesn't have sufficient or stability or anything that can propel them to the next level, I feel like is a waste from me. Because you think about it, you have your parents, they immigrated here, boom, you're here, or you came from another country, they risked you being here, your well-being of being here, you're here, and then you don't make the most of it, is almost like a waste.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, that's like winning the lotto and blowing it all within your lifetime. Because now your kids don't have anything.
No, facts.
Because then it was just like, damn, you were really a waste of a ticket. You know what I mean? So my biggest thing is being able to leave a good foundation for after I pass away so that my kids can have something or can build from something, because who knows how this economy is going to look 5 years from now. It can be up or it can be down. And this is New York, and it seems like it's only going up. But what I do want to transition to is, if you can change anything from the last 10 years, what would it be?
Well, I want to say one thing before we transition to that.
Okay.
One of the... Fuck, man, I don't know. I'm not trying to put that in the air, but one of my biggest fears, I guess one of the biggest things I'm afraid to feel.
Uh-huh.
All right, life throws people curveballs all the time, right? Mm-hmm. There are some things in life that happen unfairly that we can't explain, and it always just goes back to the phrase, life is unfair. I'm afraid to face one of those moments and situations where I'm throwing a curveball at life, and I can't explain why it happened. Huh?
No, I was gonna say, and it backfires, or
not even backfires. I'm just afraid of my response. I'm afraid of what I would do. So I'll give an example. There are certain people. I don't want to put that example in there, but let's just say there are certain parents who unfortunately have to see their kids get locked up, right? or there are certain relatives, certain parents who have to bury their kids or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's a lot of unfair things that happen in life. And it's just like, yo, like, how do you deal with such situations? How do you deal with, like, some people, you ever hear situations like how a person is, like, so healthy, they're good, diagnosed with cancer?
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with these unfair things?
Stress. That's what I think. Like, you have some of the healthiest people in the world. Stress can kill people. You know, because I know a guy that's been working for 30 plus years, but he never got a promotion. But yet he's working as a consultant for another company, and it's just like, I'm sure that consultant is paying him bread.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, he's kind of like, well, nah, I don't need it. Like, no, bro. Like, you need it. He's got like 4 kids. And it's like, it goes back to the first question. Is like, for me, I would want to leave something for them.
Right.
You know, to put them in the, okay, you're at this level. All you need to do is just achieve more and then pass it on. Like a family tradition type shit.
Right. And there's this book, I can't remember the name of it right now because it's pretty old, but it kind of talks about like life is unfair and there are some things we just can't do about it. Like kids being, I gave an example of like a kid getting AIDS. Mm-hmm. And it's like, God damn, bro, like how a kid coming to this world and already diagnosed with AIDS.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, how do you handle these type of situations that can happen to anybody? It's one thing that you see it on the news or you see it with a relative, but if it comes to your life, I'm afraid of feeling that feeling because, bro, you don't know what the fuck you going to do. Mm-hmm. Some people handle that type of stress in different ways, but yeah, we could go to the next topic now.
So what did I say the next topic was? Yeah, so if you can change anything from the last 10 years, what would it be?
I'm going to let you go first on this one. I got to think.
Damn, I want you to go first. But my thing is, what would I want to change? Like, my thing is 10 years. I mean, like, if I'm in my 20s, damn. What would I want to change? I would say when it comes to relationships, I'd say maybe being more emotionally available for the other person.
Okay.
That's something I would change. Because sometimes I think too logical with certain shit. Mm-hmm. And I guess I don't know if that comes out because, you know, I'm like having the perspective of a man. But it's like maybe sometimes I should have took it a level lower. I don't know if you want to call that lower, higher, or the same, but be more emotionally available for that person.
I get that. It's like, all right, you're thinking more logically, but you want to kind of put yourself in the place of where this person is coming from.
Yeah, because like emotions, they also carry weight too. Like they also have to be taken in consideration as well. Like it just can't be pure logic. And that's one of the things that I think men and women have an issue with. It's like guys are more logical thinkers, females think more with their emotions, but if a man is able to understand that type of emotion, right, then he can be a better man at that point.
Yeah. Right, bro. You're right because, you know, there are some things that happen in life, right? that you be like, man, I don't got no fucking answer to this. I don't know how I'm going to get through with this. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to walk away for this because logically it doesn't make sense. But the next person might be like, you know what? We may not have the money. We may not know how to go with this, but let's just walk through this door because we'll just see what happens.
And not only that, it's like sometimes you may be in a situation that you can't walk away from. That warrants your response, warrants your decision from now. And you can think logically, or you can think logically with emotion, or you can think purely off emotion. Right? And I think those instances is what makes a person a good leader. Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, you can do what's right for the team, but then what about the team morale?
Team morale is so important.
You know what I mean? So you can say, yeah, boom, 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 we got to do this. But then the team's like, damn, you know, that was a bad decision. We don't have our faith in you. Or you didn't really talk to us about it. Or, you know, we're the one that really work on it. You didn't really ask for our opinion. You just said, boom, this is it. This is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. Without realizing some of the shortcomings of that same choice that you made.
Yeah, no, you're right. Even with the bad decision part, I think the way you get around that, you just got to fucking own it. Hey, listen, I made the decision that falls on me. It didn't turn out well. And I'm going to work on, you know, I'm going to try to make better decisions in the future. But to be honest, I might make another bad decision again. Like it just happened. Failures is just a part of life. Especially when you're in a leadership position, bro, like you're going to make the wrong decision at times. It just is what it is. You think the CEOs of these massive companies don't make decisions?
They're not flawless.
Yeah. You think they don't make decisions where they lose billions of dollars and now they got to regroup with their team to see how they crawl out under that hole? Like, it just happens. That's just the part. That's just the part of being a leader.
Nah, I agree with that. And, you know, leaders don't always make the best decisions, but, you know, if you're on a receiving end, you got to understand, okay, this guy obviously needs X, Y, and Z experience. Mm-hmm. You know, and that person that's thinking that should be able to walk up and tell you, you know, like, yo, I think you need X, Y, and Z. And to be a man, it's like, okay, put your ego to the side. You don't got to be all macho, but hear what this person got to say, even if they're younger than you. Mm-hmm. You know?
No, yeah, right. But wanted to say, go back to the original question, the shit I could change in the last 10 years. One thing, if I could go back, you know, I don't want to say I changed a lot because, you know, those things kind of build you to who you are now. Mm-hmm. But if I could change something, it would be not let others affect my decisions. You know, obviously I'm older now. Mm-hmm. I learned from it, but there were times where I wanted to do something, or maybe I knew it was the right decision for me, but I let people get in my head.
And did that sway your overall decision?
Yeah, it swayed my overall decision. And then when I look back at it, I'm like, damn, I should have just went with my gut and not let other people get in my head, because ultimately it wasn't the right decision for me. One example is, it was this one girl, bro. When I was probably like, I was probably like 12. It was this one girl, she was failing me, and I was failing her. She was all right looking at me, but to my friends, she was ugly. And I remember they used to make fun of her, how ugly she was. But I didn't understand it because I was like, oh, she looked good to me. And, you know, I ain't going to hold it in secret. We was talking. Mm-hmm. But because I'm letting their perspective of her affect me, I kind of broke it off with her. And then
go back into the ocean.
But it's just like, because I let other people's opinions get to me, And then, when I look back at it, I'm like, damn, she didn't deserve that. Like, I was feeling her. We should have just been like, again, I was 12, but, and that's just one example, but it's just like, if I would have just done what's best for me, I would have been happier at that point, because I remember when I broke up with her too, it caused a lot of stress on my young life. Like, then she started busting out the fat jokes, and she started saying like, oh, now you ugly and blah, blah, blah. So it caused some drama in my life.
That sounds like she was really hating at that point.
Yeah, now she was hating, but I'm just saying, like, I could have avoided all that if I would have just not let other people get to me. And, there's other examples, too, of, like, I'm letting people get in my head. Then look back on it now, I'm like, yeah, I regret that decision. So it's like, yeah, if I could have changed some things, basically change the decisions I made because I let other people get in my head.
But would you change anything like dating wise?
Dating wise?
Yeah.
Oh, nah. I can't say that. Nah, dating wise, besides that situation, I think I've been all right. Oh, well, I ain't gonna hold you. In college, there was this one girl, and let's just say she wasn't cultured, right? She wasn't cultured, and people kind of realized I was hanging around her a lot. And I'm just like, yeah, let me not explore this opportunity at hand here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that was something small. But again, it was like, I was worried about my image because, I was hanging out with my friends and people kind of noticing like, yo, who D over there hanging out with? You know what I'm saying? Who he talking to? That was once in college. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I think I addressed it pretty straightforward with the question about what would I change in the last 10 years.
All right.
And that's be more emotionally available to, in terms of relationships and that type of shit. And it's important because now I look back and I think about that shit sometimes. And it's like, damn, could something X, Y, and Z, could that have worked out? If I was more conscious emotionally for this person?
Right.
But I'm not gonna sit here and say I dwell on it. The past is the past, I'm gone. You know what I mean? But as you get older, you learn certain shit.
Right.
So this kind of brings me into the next question: is how do you know when it's time to leave a relationship?
We don't have to spend too much time on this one, but I would say, in a way, you kind of just know. I think the thing that makes a relationship last, if you're connecting with the person, you're comfortable around the person, and you're just not trying too hard to be somebody else. If I could be myself around somebody, for a long period of time, then that's the one. When shit start getting a little bit too toxic and I don't know. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that's one of the things you just know. When shit just start getting a little bit too toxic and you got to walk on eggshells around that person, like, all right, we're just not compatible. So, yeah, I chose my girl just because I'm 100% me around her. And she cool with it. She 100% me around. She's 100% her around me. And I'm cool with it. And that's it.
Nah, being 100% and chill with the person that you are with or the person that you're committed to is the best feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What
do you think?
But So the question is, how do you know when it's time to leave a relationship? I would say it's when you you can say that you love somebody, but then it's like you're fighting, you're arguing,
Yeah.
and all that, and it's like, okay, we love each other, but we know that, for instance, our communication is not well, or we always have a different sense of an opinion over shit, right? I think when you feel like you don't love that person anymore, like the moment you start to feel that that's fading, I feel like that's the time that you need to leave.
Yeah, because all that arguing after a while is going to be like, all right, the love is going to die down eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's not resolved, you know.
Yeah, and then what, you're going to stress yourself out and keep arguing over the same shit?
Exactly. So, yeah, there's going to be signs. Especially if you're arguing so much, like, it's good to get out the relationship early because you never know, like, what that could escalate to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, there are so many domestic violence cases of, like, arguments escalating to physical violence. And it's like, damn, if you would have just left this person alone,
everything would have been straight.
Everything would have been straight.
Shit. I don't know. I mean, I feel like we dropped a lot of good gems.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. We'll come up with more topics like this.
I mean, this one was kind of deep, especially the first questions. What are you most afraid of feeling? And even though this is a straight up and R&D podcast and we don't give a fuck about your feelings, just think about this. Think about this and put it in the comments. You know, think about it. You don't gotta tell us. You gotta tell all the other motherfuckers that's in there commenting with y'all.
Right.
You know, and y'all can have a whole discussion. Is what are you most afraid of feeling? And it's a legit question because some people, they're afraid of a lot of stuff, and that is what caused them to be the way they are. Some people don't want to be alone. Some people always want attention. You know, some people want to feel wanted. Right. And those are emotions that they are afraid of feeling. It's like, it's like always wanting to be happy and never having the feeling of being sad.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like emotions can be a roller coaster. 1 minute you're happy, 1 minute you're having a good day, and then somebody can give you the middle finger as you were driving home. And that shit can flip your whole motherfucking day. But this is New York.
I was about to say,
yeah, I mean,
2 inches already,
you know what I'm saying? But nah, I mean, just to wrap this whole shit up, you know, we dropped a good amount of fucking gems here, and you know, I know this episode is a little bit shorter than the usual, but it's some deep ass questions that, you know, I think a lot of people should really take the time to think about.
Right, I agree. Let us know in the comments, y'all.
You know, let us know, like, what do you guys think on that aspect? And we keep it in the buck. And there's no way that, you know, you can think that, oh, we're talking bullshit. We're not. It's some legit shit.
Yeah, you don't gotta agree with our opinions on these questions. It is what it is.
It is what it is. And yeah, I just want to take a moment to shout out all the subscribers. You know what I mean? We went from fucking 20 subscribers to now over 100 or 150 subscribers now. And it's like, damn, you know, we're on the road, we grinding, we're gonna be pushing out that content for y'all to continue to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like and share. But let us know what you think in the comments, even though we don't give a fuck about it. The purpose is for you guys to talk to with other people to get the shit popping. And, you know, we got a lot more episodes coming up next. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Some heavy hitters is coming down the pipeline. You know what I'm saying? We got other guests that's coming up on the show. But on that note, man, I'm Rich.
I'm D.
And I'm signing out, yo.
Later, y'all.
Later.